Finish him. Or her?
Welcome. And today we'll dive into a couple of great pro-revenge stories and their reactions. Coming up we have Friend Crank called me at my job, so I had him served with a fake paternity suit at his. Plus we have I had an office food thief, so I bought a nanny cam. I just know you're gonna love these stories, so this should be a fun session. Hi, this is Derek. I just put the Drama Llama, Fred, back in his pen so that I can do this quick video for you with some of the stuff that Fred found on Reddit earlier today. If this is your first time watching our videos, help me out by watching to the end, and then giving me some feedback in the comment area below. I do respond to every single one, so don't be shy. And if you want more of these videos daily, don't forget to like and subscribe, with notifications turned on for this channel. Oh boy, let's get ready for some deep-seated revenge. Tremendo the Great posted. Friend Crank called me at my job, so I had him served with a fake paternity suit at his. 10 years ago a friend of mine, Crank, called me several times in my office over the course of a day. I decided in that moment that 1, this would not stand, and 2, rather than entering into a long, protracted quagmire of a prank war, I would use the nuclear option and end it immediately. My friend Mike was a well-known local bartender. I worked at the same bar as a bouncer and he was very much enjoying single life at the time. Facts which I knew I could take advantage of. Soon a plan began to form. I would have him served with a fake paternity suit while he was working at the bar. So, I compiled a ton of free online legal documents. Not just for the paternity suit but also income disclosure forms, statements of parental rights, and suggested visitation schedules pending demonstrable proof of sobriety. I filled out all the forms, then smeared what looked like date received stamps as proof they had been filed and ran copies to make those stamps even more illegible. From there, I crafted a backstory to be included in a cover letter from the fictional mother's fake law firm. The nearby city, Family Law Center, on letterhead and all. The mother was an Irish exchange student visiting the area the previous summer. She had only been with Mike, so she knew the baby, Eliza, was his. The cover letter encouraged Mike to call during regular office hours to discuss arranging a DNA test to affirm paternity. I set up a generic voicemail for the number listed as the office on the letterhead. By the end, the paperwork was somewhere between 20 to 25 pages. I enlisted another friend not known by Mike to serve the documents, and instructed him to do so around 10 p.m. on a Saturday evening. I told him to keep the interaction very simple. I wasn't able to be by the back bar because I knew I would be laughing too hard. But based on eyewitness reports it played out like this. Friend, are you Mike, last name? Mike, yes. Friend, Michael, middle name, last name? Mike, yes. Friend, drops folder on bar. Mike, what's that? Friend, paternity suit. You've been served, turns around and immediately walks out of the bar. Mike, yeah, that sounds about right. Mike read through the packet, shakily poured himself several drinks, and then ran over to the bar owner, who was aware of the prank, to ask what to do. He also called the number on the letterhead but sadly did not leave a voicemail. After a solid 10 minutes of intense psychological revenge, the owner finally told Mike he should closely read the last page of the packet. On it, in size 2 font it read, "Go F yourself, Mike." At which point, Mike ran to the front door and punched me in the chest. Epilogue, several months later, Mike was on a trip across the country. He had left his car at home with his mom who generously had it washed for him. Mike for some reason kept the paternity suit paperwork in his driver's side door. During the course of the car wash, his mother found it and read the entire thing, then called him sobbing in the middle of the night, asking why he hadn't told her about her bastard Irish granddaughter. What are your thoughts on this incredible story? Please share in the comments below. Now here's how some Reddit members reacted to this story. Don't mess with my cat reacted with that epilogue though. Odd you think he was frantically trying to explain, or he was just laughing his butt off on how incredible this revenge was. After figuring out why she was frantically sobbing, he eventually calmed her down. She didn't believe him the first few times he explained that the baby wasn't real. I met her for the first time about 8 years later at his wedding. She held a grudge. Yeah, but did she spit on you then drag you down to hell? What a bunch of great reactions. Now on to the next story posted by Anonymous. Who posted? I had an office food thief. So I bought a nanny cam. A couple things about me that made it really suck to have a food thief. I have a lot of food allergies, so I can't just get lunch at the cafeteria or at a nearby restaurant. I have a new baby, who I'm breastfeeding, and who I pump for when I'm at work. You know how hungry pregnant people are? Yeah, the caloric requirement for breastfeeding is 100 to 200 calories higher. I am always hungry. Because I have a new baby, half the time I don't manage to show up at work with a lunch. I either run out of time to pack one, or if I did remember, I leave it on the counter. My solution to all of this was to leave lots of non-perishable snacks in my office. And also a lot of candy, because I also have a 3-year-old. And therefore work is the only place I can shovel Skittles into my mouth. Without a little hand extending into my field of vision and a little voice saying please. Snacks that were specifically free of my allergens. Some of which were specialty foods because of this. The type of specialty food that just doesn't taste as good as food that contains the allergen. And also costs twice as much. Because I'm not getting a lot of sleep right now. I deserve nice things. So, because I'm not getting a lot of sleep right now. When I first came back from maternity leave, assembled my snack hoard. And started having things go missing. I genuinely thought I was just losing my mind. Boxes of candy were running out faster than I thought I was eating them. I'd come in the morning and things wouldn't be where I'd left them. At one point I brought a bag of chips to work. Folded the rim of the bag down so I wasn't plunging my arm elbow deep into a grease pit. And then put a bag clip on it when I went home. And when I came in the next morning the bag was unrolled and reclipped. I went wow, I must be more tired than I thought. Rolled the bag back down, and the next morning it was unrolled again. Just little things like that, almost every day, that made me go wow. The post-baby brain is worse than I thought. And then I got the flu. I got the flu, and I was out for a whole week. Left behind at the office was an almost full box of Enjoy Life cookies. Which are not enjoyable but are free of all major allergens. And are also $5 a box for, like, 12 sad little sand pies with some cinnamon on top. I ate one row of these cookies. And then I was out of the office for a week. For 1 week, I was not eating any of my snack hoard. But someone else was. Because I came back to work, opened my box of cookies, and found one. There was one single, solitary cookie left. And, on further examination, the one box of candy that had been opened was nowhere to be found. And on top of that the thief had done me the courtesy of opening a new box for me. Except that they actually followed the push here to open instructions. Instead of just ripping one end of the box open like I do. Which they should damn well know at this point. Because by this time they'd been stealing from me for 2 darn months. The combination of these two things, the sheer freaking audacity it takes to open a new box so you can continue stealing from someone, on top of the consumption of almost a whole box of specialty cookies that aren't even good, enraged me enough that, after going to my boss and getting some vague promises about checking if the security cameras in my wing of the building are functional or not, I went straight to Amazon and ordered myself a nanny cam. Not for my baby. For my snack hoard. Conveniently, it arrived the day before Valentine's Day. I set it up on top of a file cabinet looking down at my desk. On the desk, I laid out a fantastic spread of bait snacks. I got all my thief's favorites, and then I took it one step further. I bought myself a Valentine heart, broke the seal to make it more inviting, and left it out on my desk. The next morning, I came into some very obvious snack carnage. My thief had slowly been getting more brazen. Again, who opens a new box of something? And opens it differently than the person they are stealing from. But this was just on another level. Individually wrapped things had been dumped out of their boxes. Bits of packaging had been thrown away. And, yep, they'd eaten some of the Valentine candy. For shame, office thief. Don't you know that's from someone who loves me? I played back the video. All was quiet throughout most of the evening. And I was just watching the shadows lengthen as the sun slowly set through the hallway window. And then, shortly before midnight, the night janitor arrived. And went right ahead and took a 12-minute break in my office, sitting in my chair, eating my food. I started taking screenshots. I got him shoveling candy into his mouth with full palm to lips intensity. Pouring things out onto the desk to pick his favorite flavors. not even bothering to put them back where he found them. And yes, eating my darn Valentine's candy. Screenshots went directly to my boss in an email. I went directly to my boss's door to hover and grin and ask if he'd read my email. And I got assurances of a strongly worded email to the cleaning company, and the barring of this particular employee from our place of business. I was also, tactfully, asked to please take my unauthorized spy camera home, which I did. I thought this was over, until the girl who works the concession stand dropped by to thank me. Apparently the food thief would start his shift just as she was closing down for the night, and would try to get free coffee in that creepy guy way. And then one of the reception staff came by with the same sentiments. I'd never met the guy face to face, but apparently as a woman, it was not a fun experience to have. I'd shown my screenshots to a few coworkers, whose eating you 5 rabbits in a long coat's food had become office gossip by this point. And word had spread fast. I worked an earlier shift, so I didn't recognize him. But people whose shifts overlapped with his did. I hadn't told my husband about what I'd done because, when I came home raging about the blatant theft that had gone on while I'd had the flu, his only response had been, "You really shouldn't be leaving food at work, then." But, when I came home with the nanny cam and explained where and why I'd gotten it, his reaction surprised me. "You know, I think this is the first time I've seen you stand up for yourself. I'm proud of you." You know what, Reddit? I'm proud of me too. What are your thoughts on this incredible story? Please share in the comments below. Now here's how some Reddit members reacted to this story. Verminius Rex reacted with, "I'm proud that you didn't lay in wait and kill him. Source: I'm a husband with wife and 2 kids. Messing with mommy's food is dangerous. Same here, and eating mommy's chocolates in our house would result in some bad ninja retaliation." And finally, Nerdiant reacted with, "Kid eats mom's food. Kid later, why do I hear boss fight music?" Well, there you have it. A perfectly great question answered by a bunch of fine and honorable citizens. Help support this channel by smashing the like and subscribe buttons. And hit that silly little bell as well to ensure you get the latest videos as they come out. Fred is always finding stuff for me to post regularly. So this is Derek signing off. Thanks for watching. Good grief, it sounds like Fred is out of his pen again. I think he found more drama for me to share with you. See you soon.